What's up, y'all? Sever the Bond from Nets Republic. What do y'all want me to say at this point? This is becoming a daunting task for me to get on camera and speak upon y'all like this. Like it's becoming nerve-wracking. Not even to watch the game, but just to get on camera and try to explain to y'all what we're watching. Last game, we kind of came to the conclusion that there were two different Brooklyn Nets squads. There's a squad with all three of them out there, and then there's a squad where it's just some semblance of the big three, whereas it's two of them, one of them, some random combination. Well, tonight it was just Harden. And we all know the Harden that we've gotten this year. There was no Kevin Durant, obviously no Kyrie, no LaMarcus Aldridge, no Patty Mills. I'm sure you can imagine what happened. No Claxton. We played Oklahoma City, which outside of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I don't know who any of those dudes are. I know who Lou Dort is. I remember him from like the playoff series against the Rockets in the bubble. But outside of that, I don't know who these individuals are. And they lost. They lost at home to the Thunder with James Harden on the floor. Now, it was James Harden. I think the starting lineup was like Bruce Brown at the 2. What? It was like Bruce Brown at the 2. It was, I think, Kessler Edwards. I can't even remember what the starting lineup is. DeAndre Bembry, Day'Ron Sharpe. That's about all I can muster up as far as memories of who started. It was just rough. It was really rough. And there were some times where the game was competitive and they were playing well, but then they just ran out of gas. And like, I can't even like be super mad at Harden because it's like these are the type of performances I expect. He's going to go out there and he's going to try to be assist man. And though he had, like the 27 points, that's cool. But it's like, that's James Harden, though. So it's like, at this point in the season, you just accept what you get from that man, and you just move on with your life. You can't even say the whole thing of like, oh, but that's James Harden. You can't even do that anymore because it's like you know what to expect from these people. So in order to lift the spirits of this video, because really it could just be me saying the same things that we've been saying over and over again, before we get to the extremely depressing conclusion of this very short edition of the Nets post-game pre-show, I'm going to lift everyone's spirits for a second. Let me show you something that will distract you from the fact that we just lost to OKC at home. That? My friend, Peppa Pig. This game is actually extremely... Oh, I didn't even know it came with stickers. Look at this. I didn't even know the joint came with stickers for the Nintendo Switch. I gotta be honest, it looks like there's absolutely nothing to do. It's because there's not, but... You get to create your own character, and I feel like at that point, like, I had to cop it. Like, the joint says, like, OG. I had to do it. OG? I'm an OG Peppa stan. I had to do it. So, yeah. Peppa Pig for the Nintendo Switch. If that doesn't lift your spirits from the nasty performance we just saw, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. So now that we've gotten that part out of the way, let's get over to the mildly nasty part, which is going to make everyone really, really depressed. We are at the point in the season now to where, as we talked about in some of my earlier videos here on Nets Republic, the rest of the NBA is onto our scheme. The rest of the NBA is onto our plans. It's ISO KD, and Harden will occasionally contribute some offense every now and again. The league understands that. The league knows that outside of Kevin Durant, James Harden is trying to do some form of a pick and roll or getting the ball to someone cutting. So if you cut off the pick and roll and just, guard the paint and be prepared for a Kevin Durant triple threat jab step series on some Carmelo Anthony, you know how to stop the team. So all logic of us being extremely good in the beginning of the season is just a matter of teams weren't used to the combination of Harden and Kevin. But teams eventually got over that and said, okay, we know what to do. Harden's not even going to try to score, and there's a large chance he's going to miss the layup if he tries to go anyway, and he can't foul bait anymore, so he's just a regular dude. We can treat him like Drew Holiday type stuff. The team is made and packaged around the idea that we have the big three. That's Kyrie, that's Kevin, and that's James. That is what the team is constructed over. So when one of them is not out there and we start having our debates of who should be starting, who should be on the bench, who shouldn't be getting minutes, these are like side effects. These are the side effects of things going left for us in this season. We didn't expect to be having these types of conversations. Like, outside of the Joe Harris injury, we shouldn't really be going back and forth of, oh, it should be Kessler Edwards. Kessler Edwards that start, like, how do we get here? How do we get here? I feel like we're like that song off the Twilight soundtrack from Paramore, just, how do we get here? Like, how do we get here? But we're here, and we have to accept the fact, unfortunately, that when all three of them are not out there and the team is not prepared for such things, because how the team is constructed, if you really go up and down the roster, and let's just name the people we have, Blake Griffin, and we're not running plays for any of them, so please keep that in mind. Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, Claxton, Bruce Brown, Bembry, Paul Millsap. We got minutes tonight, Jesus. Who else is on the team? James Johnson, who I don't believe played tonight. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. You got Day'Ron Sharpe, Cam Thomas, Patty Mills. I mean, I'm just naming the others here. And outside of Patty Mills and I guess Cam Thomas, I didn't name anyone that can go out there and get their own shot like that. I mean, Blake can, but that's not his role. So it's like, how the team is constructed, like what kind of balance were we expecting? We don't have a real center outside of Claxton. Day'Ron Sharpe is 6'9". I don't know, like haha, stupid. Like, that man is 6'9". I don't know where we got this idea that he's a center, but that's neither here nor there. We have a collection of angry power forwards and a couple of guards that are defensive specialists and Patty Mills. You want to keep it all the way at being that's the team surrounding the big three. Because when you have offensive talent like that and a two-way player in KD, technically two-way in Harden because he passes and stuff like that, what you need is a bunch of random complementary pieces to just hold up the slack and play defense in the background, occasionally hit an open shot. Joe Harris too, but that's not here nor there. So when one of them is gone, it's like, oh God, what do we do now? You know what I mean? We've all been going back and forth of who's that Kyrie replacement, and we've been settling for Patty Mills. And not that Patty Mills is not amazing, but we're talking about a Kyrie replacement here, right? Putting a lot of pressure on Cam Thomas and Duke Jr. and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think it's just time that we just accept the team is made for all three of them being out there, and maybe we should consider paying that fine. I know, and trust me, I was against it. I was 1,000% against it because I think as far as like public relations wise goes, it's going to be a media crap storm and we shouldn't go that way. But the team is literally constructed for all three of them to be out there. And when they're not, and even when like one dude is resting, like it's like if one dude is resting, we got to have at least one of them else out there. Like I'm talking about, it's got to be like last year where when KD went down with health and safety stuff, we still had Kyrie and Harden. Like there was still some combination of Harden and somebody. I don't really trust the 7-Eleven connection like that. I know y'all do. I don't. But we need some semblance of Harden and one of the other dudes. So it's like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I feel like I'm talking in circles because it's like, what else am I supposed to say when they lose to OKC? The main takeaway, and I know I said a lot of things and went down a lot of different rabbit holes, but my main takeaway is I'm at the point personally where I feel like the team needs all three of them. We are copping so many pleas and doing so many mental gymnastics to try and say, well, we have so-and-so and so-and-so, so that should be enough for so-and-so and this and that and this and that. We've just been putting bandages on this the entire season. We need to figure out what we're doing here. Y'all don't want to hear it, but I'm back on my we have two options type stuff. Either Kyrie finds a way to play or you trade him for someone who will. Because the team cannot continue to exist like this. Because if James Harden and support characters isn't getting it done against OKC, I don't know what y'all expect. Probably should have started with that instead of going down the whole thing. But I had to show y'all Peppa somehow. Let me know your thoughts down below. Are you where I'm at, or do you still have some form of pride, some form of optimism, or something like that? Because right now I'm pretty doom and gloom, but I have confidence that the Nets are going to find a way to get Kyrie to play, because it is so obvious that we're running out of Band-Aids, and that's just the best way to put it. We are just fresh out of Band-Aids. Let me know your thoughts down below. 7th Bond, that's Republic. Yeah.